Before large factories and automated furnaces transformed metal production, much of Germany's cutting tool industry relied on small workshops and home-based labor. Across industrial regions, families combined living space and production under one roof. On Uncovered Past, we explore how traditional scissor hardening was carried out by hand, using skill, experience, and techniques passed down through generations. In a residential district of Western Germany, this modest house reflects a common way of working in the late 19th and early 20th centuries. For decades, families earned their living as home workers for the German cutting tool industry. Metalworking was not confined to factories. It was part of everyday domestic life. By the early 20th century, a small workshop had been added to the house. Its equipment remained simple but effective. Milling machines, drill presses, hand-operated spindle presses, a hardening furnace, and a quenching barrel. Despite technological change elsewhere, the layout and tools stayed largely unchanged for decades. Scissor production followed a fixed sequence of steps. The process began with milling the joint that connects the two halves. Precision was essential. The blades had to align perfectly so that the tips met with only a minimal gap. Even the smallest deviation would affect cutting performance. Training in this craft often began early. Children grew up surrounded by machines, learning by observation, and assisting with minor tasks. Formal apprenticeships were not always available, so knowledge was transmitted within families, reinforced by years of hands-on experience. After milling, reference points were marked for drilling and threading. Hand-powered spindle presses were carefully adjusted for each scissor type. Many of the specialized tools pressure dies. Thread cutters were made in the workshop itself, tailored to specific needs. The blades were then twisted to give them tension, a crucial step that ensured the two halves would touch at a single point while cutting. A single electric motor powered multiple machines through a transmission system, typical of small German workshops of the period. Drilling and threading followed. Holes were made for screws and countersinks using different drill sizes in sequence. Traditional drilling fluids cooled the tools. The correct screw for each scissor type was selected from experience, with all sizes kept at hand. Hardening was the most demanding stage. The steel was heated in an open fire and quenched in oil or water, depending on its composition. Temperature was judged by color alone, from dark red to bright white. After hardening, the steel had to be tempered at lower heat to restore elasticity and prevent brittleness. In traditional metalworking, controlling heat was as important as technique. Hardening furnaces relied on wood, coke, or coal to generate high temperatures, often exceeding 800 degrees Celsius for ordinary steel and over 1,000 degrees Celsius for higher quality alloys. Craftsmen judged the correct temperature by observing the glow of the metal, from dark red to bright white. Consistent heating ensured even hardening, preventing cracks or warping in the steel blades. Tempering required careful observation. Thin oxide layers formed on the steel, creating colors that signaled the correct moment to stop heating. This skill was learned through years of practice. Working conditions were harsh, with long hours and intense heat, often exceeding 60 hours per week. The final step was straightening. Warping caused by hardening was corrected by hand with a hammer, restoring the blades to proper alignment. As industrial production expanded, this form of home-based work gradually disappeared. The workshop fell silent, but its tools remained untouched. Today, preserved as a museum space, this workshop offers a rare glimpse into Germany's traditional metalworking, past a time when craftsmanship depended not on machines, but on trained eyes, steady hands, and lived experience. If you enjoy exploring forgotten skills and industrial history, subscribe to Uncovered Past and join us for more stories from the past.